that notion we're having a baby is only to a certain degree. When it really comes to the real push and the real pain of it, you went through that by yourself, and I was there.
Thank God.
But you felt the pain in a way that I didn't feel the pain. But I was there, and I was determined to be there. And all of our children were born on a Sunday.
Yes.
So I had on a clergy collar.
Yeah.
I was dressed for church, but I was there.
Yes.
And stayed throughout the whole birthing process. Chapter number 3, Coming Together. How do you think the trials, the tests, Sarah having a baby before she got married, all the things that happened with each of the children had at least one calamity that we had to go through. How do you think that has caused us to grow together when most of the times people grow apart?
Well, I think it's because it was us against them sometimes. I think that if we didn't stick together, those rascals, let me tell you, they were rascalians. They would have taken us out, man.
Yeah.
So I think that after we would get on the same page about it, because we would have differing opinions about it because of the way I was raised and the way you were raised, we would have differing opinions about it. But I think that we got on the same page and we did what was best for what we thought was best. Now, children don't come with a manual.
Yeah.
And so we thought we did what was best for them occasion upon occasion.
Right.
So I think that once we got on the page together and we were able to somehow convince them that we did maybe know what we were doing.
Right.
And we didn't know, but maybe, we're going to try to do the best that we can to get you through this.
Right.
And I think that's what helped us a whole lot.
You brought up something that made me think about Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving dinner before we got married at my mother's house down in the basement. And my family is rambunctious. I mean, we're high-fiving each other and calling each other's names and getting all excited. But we don't mean anything about it. It's just how we communicate. Our family is real subdued. And they were sitting there looking at us horrified like, oh my gosh, it's just the Adams family. Look, they were waiting for it to come around the corner, with the shaggy hair. The coming together of two people is the coming together of two different cultures.
Definitely.
Even when you're the same skin tone.
Definitely.
Your family has its own culture.
Yes.
And then out of that has to emerge a new culture for this new family. And when you talked about the difference between how you saw things and I saw things was in part the difference in the way we were raised.
Absolutely.
The culture of our family, the time and where we grew up at. And sometimes I found out, sometimes I was right, sometimes you were right. And I think it's important, no matter what your first reaction is to what the other person says, that you go back and play it over in your mind. There's no guarantee that you're right about everything. And you have to be willing to see it from another person's point of view. And sometimes you were exactly right. And it turned out you were right. And I submitted to that. And there were other times that I was right. And you submitted to that. You do it better than me. Because even when I said at that green table in the kitchen at 1 Martin Court and told you that I said, Sarita, I think we're leaving. You said, leaving? I said, yeah, I can hear it in my preaching. I can hear it in my preaching. And that place they keep telling us about in Dallas, I think we should go look at it. We had just moved in this house for about 2 years. And it was the house of our dreams.
Absolutely.
It was the city's nightmare, but it was our dream. She never turned me a back word about leaving that house. You would have thought we were leaving a tent in the woods. You started getting that stuff together and packing that stuff out, and I came down here and put tape where everything was
Yep.
supposed to go in the house, and she oversaw them moving it in. There was a certain amount of we. I don't think we've ever fully let anything separate us to the point that we were enemies.
No.
We disagreed. We had disagreements,
Yes.
not arguments. We seldom argue.
Because you talk for a living. Why would I argue with somebody that talks for a living? Hello.
Listen, no, because she has. The thing about my wife is she will say something. She will say something soft. She will say something once, but I had to learn that she meant it like this.
Yeah.
Even though she said it like that, that's what she really thought about it. And I had to learn, again, from her family culture, that the volume and the intensity with which she spoke did not diminish the sincerity of what she spoke. And I think learning each other is a journey that takes decades, and you simply give up too soon. The wedding takes about 30 minutes, but the marriage takes at least a couple of decades. Yeah, it takes a couple of decades to really begin to know. For example, here we are about ready to retire, and she says to me, I'm going back to school. And she just lacked a few credits from having her degree, and she decided she wanted her degree. And I supported her going back after her degree. I've never not supported what she's done. She's never not supported what I've done. We've always been partners, for Bonnie and Clyde, for better or for worse.
Bonnie and Clyde is wild.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were Bonnie and Clyde. You got some Bonnie in you. She got a lot of Bonnie in her. You would be
Definitely
surprised.
not Bonnie.
You you would be surprised.
Not.
But it was funny because she went on and she got her degree, and we celebrated her. She went back to West Virginia State University
Absolutely.
and finished her degree, mostly to prove to yourself that you made it.
I think it was during COVID.
Okay,
And so I was locked up anyway.
Right.
So I went back online. I got in touch with my professors, and they were like, "Yeah, sure," and got me all signed up. But I think to prove to myself that I could complete something that was that significant to me at one point in my life. I kind of got side railed from my degree because my oldest brother was murdered. And I thought, you talking about Bonnie, she rose up. I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to kill my brother?
yeah,
And so I just lost all thoughts of anything else but on this little revenge tour. And so when I decided to go back, I think it was for him. I think it was for me. And I think it was to show myself that what I started was important. And completing it made me feel so good. I
Yeah.
felt like, yes, you're an alumna. And we contributed to the alumni fund. And so I just felt like WVSU owes me nothing.
right, right.
I went down there as a freshman and walked the campuses. What's so crazy is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking over the next chapter of this podcast.
Take over.
My babe, you were on the campus
Yeah.
the same time
Yes,
that I was.
yes, and we weren't married.
We were not married, but he was a freshman. No, you were younger than me, so I was probably like a junior, sophomore, something like that. And you were a freshman. We
Right.
walked on the same sidewalks. We went in the same buildings.
Didn't know each other.
We did not know one another.